Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Now I know for the past few days, or weeks, I've noticed that some of my other videos are up to 2 months, and I think I should get back to the original upload time as back then. But I'll slowly start coming back, that is for sure. But I'm not gonna have the original upload time as usual. Some videos may take 1 week because every time when I do a what if, it might burn me out of ideas. So, pay no mistake to it. I am going to be doing videos, just not as many as I did at the start of my YouTube career that I hope to have one day. But anyways, let's get to the what if at hand. This is what if Naruto was like Sasori, but different. Now, the way this is gonna work, this is gonna work. But anyways, this is how this will work, how I see it. We come to Naruto right after when he brought Sasuke back at the Valley of the End in Shippuden. Oh, and one more thing. Spoilers for anyone who has not seen Naruto Shippuden. If you have not seen the entirety of it, click off this video now because there will be a ton of references and spoilers ahead. I would advise you that it would be wise of you to get off this video immediately if you have not seen Naruto Shippuden. You have been warned, and I am absolutely flabbergasted if no one has seen Naruto Shippuden. But anyways, to the what if at hand. We come to Naruto after he brought Sasuke back. And it's not the one from Naruto. This is in Naruto Shippuden. Naruto won that battle at the Valley of the End when Sasuke was going to charge the Chidori into Naruto's chest. Seeing that Sasuke had no heart, he had nothing. Those cold dead eyes he saw. Those cold dead eyes that he saw. He saw that Sasuke was gone forever and were to never, ever return to the way things used to be for Team 7. But now, everything is going to be different from now on. Naruto charged extra chakra. As from when I seen Shippuden, I seen that Kurama suggested that he will give him more power. But Naruto rejected that power. And now, I'm gonna make it. And now, I see why. But anyways, yes. Anyway, after when he accepted that power, after when Naruto accepted the power from Kurama, Naruto's Rasengan would have more of an edge. So, after when he charges the Rasengan with the Nine-Tails Fox chakra, or Kurama's chakra, the Rasengan would turn red for a moment, but turn back blue, because most of Naruto's chakra is depleted to nothing. But he still has his monstrous reserves of chakra. Sasuke saw this and said in his head, "Damn you, Naruto. You were holding back all those years ago, and now you finally let loose." Naruto said, "Alright, I think this is just enough to where I can't kill him, but also beat him up just enough to where I can take him back." They both have different views on the matter. Sasuke thinks that Naruto has been holding back when they fought at the Valley of the End originally, but when in fact he was right the first time. But now he thinks that, oh, Naruto, he was holding back again. He was letting loose now. But Sasuke would turn out to be very wrong. Sure, Naruto was a little bit stronger than what they were before the Valley of the End when they were kids, but now he is something entirely different. And now everything is going to change. So as we see Naruto charge the Nine Tails chakra within himself, we would see the red chakra of the demon fox charge. Naruto thinks that'll be enough. Thank you, Kurama. Kurama. Hang on, I gotta do the voice. As someone asked me how to do the voice, you lean forward just enough and groggle with your voice and speak, and make yourself sound as dark as possible as you lean forward, because it gives your voice more of an edge. You're welcome, Naruto. Now I'm hoping that that sounded good enough, and if it didn't, here's another. You're welcome, Naruto. There. Those are the only two Kurama voices that I'm gonna do as of yet, as the audio on my videos are not entirely good because of this headset that I'm using. Maybe in the future I'll get better equipment and better videos out there, but as of yet, there is nothing that I can do for the video. If you hear my breath and the wind on the mic, I am truly, internally sorry for that inconvenience, but you must bear with me. So please, accept this video as of yet. As when the attacks of the Rasengan and the Chidori gets closer and closer, the chakra from the Rasengan and Chidori reacted to one another. The Rasengan having more power, but the Chidori having less power but more piercing speed, but having more speed and piercing power, the Rasengan would overpower the Chidori. The Chidori was made for piercing, not power. It was made for fast and quick attacks. It's basically made for an assassin, not someone who wields incredible chakra. Unlike Naruto, the Rasengan is made for someone as powerful as Naruto. It was made to be power in its right. After when the Chidori and Rasengan collide with one another, you see a gigantic ball of chakra surround the both of them. But it would go from blue, dark blue, blue, dark blue, dark blue, light blue. The color of the Rasengan and the darker color of the Chidori. As the overwhelming power of the Rasengan would finally take effect. It was finally taking its effect, and it would overpower the Chidori, as it would show off light blue instead of dark blue for the Chidori. Light blue would win, and the Rasengan has won. As the blue ball of light chakra with a hint of blue chakra in it expands and overpowers the dark blue of the Chidori. As Naruto, at the final end of this, everything would go a little different. Sakura would finally come to the cliffside, seeing that Sasuke is more mangled than ever. Instead of his arm being cut off, his entire face is scarred with chakra on his face. And the entire arm from the shoulder is cut off. It doesn't leave a nub. You know, like where their arms were cut off, like right before the elbow. Yeah, the biceps, right at the shoulder, it's cut off, right to the shoulder. There's no nub, nothing. But yeah, that is that is what happens to Sasuke. A gigantic scar coming from the bottom left of his cheek. The bottom left of his cheek scarring him. It looks like a third-degree burn. It comes up almost to his eyes. It comes up almost to his eyes. Naruto, meanwhile, looks totally unfazed and untouched. His body is fine, but his clothes and his face are a little bit scuffled and scratched. But yeah, that is what happens. As she would think that Naruto was trying to kill Sasuke. She would tell Kakashi Sensei to do something, heal Sasuke, help him. She would explain what she thinks. Naruto tried to kill Sasuke, but in fact, it was the other way turned around with Sasuke and Naruto. Sasuke tried to kill Naruto, and Naruto was trying to bring back Sasuke as peacefully as possible. But now, things are different. And everything is gonna go very different from what we see in the anime. Kakashi Sensei would think, Naruto, why would Naruto want to kill Sasuke? They're teammates. He wouldn't. Would he? Maybe, maybe. As he's trying to think of a plausible way of why Naruto would do this. But then, as he's stuttering, he would think, maybe the demon finally took over. That's why he's unscathed and I can see red chakra instead of his blue chakra. The reason explaining for that is because that Kurama is trying to heal Naruto. Kurama is trying to heal Naruto to the best of his capabilities. That's why red chakra replaces his normal blue. The outer rim of his face shows off whiskers being more jagged, with his nails growing and like some teeth sticking out a little bit. As when this would happen, Kakashi thinks the worst, and he decides to put a chakra seal on Naruto and make sure that he doesn't do anything. As when this happens, after all of this, Naruto would wake up a few hours later after they brought Sasuke back to the village. They would see the condition that he was in and see that Naruto was put under, you know? They have a special type of syringe injected in him that kept him asleep. As they would see the chakra seals on his body, his chakra overwhelming with the red ones. As people think that Naruto wouldn't, but some people, like the old people, they think he's done it again. The demon has come back. As when that would happen, people would think, demon? What are they? As one elder would say, the demon, the Nine-Tails demon fox has returned, and it has taken over Naruto. But as that would happen, the people would start to contemplate, is it really Naruto? Some Hyugas come up and see what is happening to Naruto. They would see that his chakra flowed his chakra flow is replaced with red. Red chakra flow instead of the usual blue one. But yeah, as that would happen, they would Kakashi would report to Tsunade and tell her what he saw and what has happened based off his knowledge gathering. Tsunade would think, no, no, he couldn't have. He wouldn't. Would no. As after this happening, she would go on to explain that Naruto is currently being put under and making sure that he is not trying to escape, and making sure that he is chained to his bed when he wakes up, to make sure that people are safe. As some people would deny this, saying that Naruto has done nothing wrong. But yeah, as this would happen, Naruto would wake up. He would try to touch his head, but he would find that his arm is being restrained by a chain. He wiggles his arm around, feeling an adamantium chain. He would open his eyes slowly, adjusting his eyes to the light. He would look down and see that his arm is being chained down, as he would start to freak out and wonder if an enemy village caught him, as he would start to freak out and panic. He would start moving around erratically, just going left, right, up, down with his arms. Hang on, I'll be right back. I am being called. I am back, everyone. I am back. Anyway, where we left off. As Naruto would begin to freak out, wondering why is this happening. Tsunade would tell him to calm down, saying that if he's feeling better, he would say, "Of course I'm feeling better. Why wouldn't I?" As she would see the red eyes of the chakra from Nine Tails, as she would say, "No, you're not." As his voice would begin to jumble up a little bit, as he would say, "I am not. I am not who. I don't understand." As his voice would begin to cut out with Kurama's voice a little bit. The reason why this is happening is because his vocal cords were damaged, per se, during the battle. Kurama is using his chakra to fix his voice, and in doing so, it would cause him to sound like Kurama a little bit. Healing the vocal cords of someone is a lot different than you might think. With chakra flowing through your vocal cords, it would cause you to change voices. As she would look at him in fear, as she would say, "Nothing, Naruto," as she would walk away from the bed. As he would ask, "Ba-chan." I think that's how he says it, right? Ba-chan? Ba-chan, I think. As he would ask, "Ba-chan, where are you going? Aren't you going to let me out?" As she would look away, saying nothing, saying, "How could you, you demon?" Looking away in sadness. As at this point, Naruto, his chakra, or Kurama's chakra, amplifying what Naruto can hear, as he would hear this little whisper. His world would crumble and fall to nothing. His world has just fallen. His reality crushed. As he would begin to ask himself, why? Why? As he would always say that people would always say that he was a demon, even though he has done nothing. But anyway, as Tsunade would go to the conference room and say that everything that Kakashi says is correct, and that she is saddened to say that Naruto has been taken over by the Nine Tails. But yeah. As when this would happen, he would be heartbroken. He would say to himself that everything that he's ever believed in has just been crushed, and after which Tsunade would tell him that he is being exiled. He's being exiled with a twist, saying to the Nine-Tails demon, she says to him in venom in her voice, saying that you have taken one of our comrades and you have turned them into your puppet. But after that, Naruto would be heartbroken from her words and say nothing. As they would bring Naruto to this room, he would say, "What are we doing here?" As when he walks by a body, he would look at it more closely and he would see it's Sasori. It's Sasori, one of the Akatsuki members. It's Shell. It's a shell of Sasori. But as when Naruto would see Sasori, he would wonder, why is Sasori here? As he would see some people wearing cloaks, he would ask, who are they? That they would say that they are people here to get rid of the Nine Tails. They are simply here to correct something. As he would not understand. And he would say, why are you doing this to me? I have done nothing wrong. Shut up, Nine Tails. I can see nothing I say or do won't change your minds. Fine, do as you wish. But know only this, you are going to pay for your actions here. As they would laugh at the Nine Tails, saying, ha ha ha. No. In fact, the opposite is going to happen. As they would get ready, as the chakra would spike in their hands, as they would charge up a canister. A canister would be charged with chakra. As he says, what is that? Oh, you don't recognize it? Nine Tails? As Naruto looks a little closer, as he would see the writing, heart. He would see the writing named heart. A word that says heart on the tip of the canister. And then he would remember what Sasori looked like and remember what Sakura said about Sasori and how he worked. Apparently, Sasori was a puppet himself, and his soul was put inside. His soul was put inside of a puppet. As he says, "No, no, I don't want to do that. No, 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 you can't. You can't do that. No." Aw, look at the Ninetales, shivering in fear, realizing that he's being sealed away into a puppet, or a canister, as they would draw out a little bit of the Ninetales chakra and give it to the canister. Once the canister would realize and recognize the Ninetales chakra and knowing what it felt like, the canister would beep green and accept the Ninetales power. They would slowly begin to feed it all of the Ninetales, because now the Ninetales is fully accepted. The Ninetales is whole again after Minato gave Naruto the full Ninetales. After that, Naruto would be screaming in agony, absolute agony, as it felt like his own life force was being drained out of his own body. It would feel like 1,000 years has passed, but only minutes have went by. It would feel like 1,000 years have passed, but it's only been a few minutes. After which, they would knock him out. After that, Naruto would be in his head, asking Ninetales or Kurama why they were doing this. Naruto tells them the specific reasons why, saying that after healing him and seeing his traits when he was healing him, Tsunade would have seen the red eyes, the teeth, the nails, but you didn't see them because you were too woozy to notice. So they've decided to seal me and you into this canister and put us somewhere? Yes. That's one of the things about us tailed beasts. Our holster, or our host, can be killed and then keep us sealed and put inside of a canister. We have not been talking about that secret ever since we found it out, as Shikaku was the first one to be sealed away that way, but we broke him out before they could realize that that was the trick, and that they found a loophole for our sealing. Huh. I wonder where they're gonna put us, as Naruto would feel his chest begin to open, and he would begin to hold it in pain, as Ninetales or Kurama couldn't do a thing, because his chakra was being taken away and put inside the canister. After that, Kurama would leave the mind space, and Naruto would be just there alone, crying in agony, his chest feeling like it's being ripped open, which is happening in the real world. They're beginning to open his chest. They're opening up his chest and taking out his heart and putting it inside the canister. It would feel like agony. It would feel 1,000 years have passed yet again. As he finally falls unconscious, fully unconscious, he has no idea what's going on. As when he would wake, he would see nothing, seeing nothing but empty space. Nothing but absolute empty space. Huh. In the real world, they have just finished up putting Naruto's heart inside the canister, and the canister accepted his heart. And after that, um, they would begin to trek. They would say that everything was successful. Naruto didn't die. The Nine Tails was put with him, and everything. As she would say, good. Now, where to put him? Well, we gotta make sure that it's somewhere far away from Konoha so our enemies won't get them. As one of the councilmen, I think I have an idea. Let's put him in the manufacturing factory, up in the north side, on the hill. That place? Yes, that place. It's the only place that I can think of that might be safe for the canister that holds the Nine-Tails demon inside. It's the only safe place that I see fit for the Nine-Tails. Well, I guess you're not wrong. Nobody has seen that place, let alone even travel there because it's too tough. You would have to trek through 2 miles of snow in a blizzard. You would have to trek through 2 feet of snow in a blizzard. And then after that, half an hour walking through a dense forest, which no one has ever come out of. Fine. But we'll have to find somebody expendable if they don't come back. Do you know if anyone's expendable? Well, I think I know someone. Really? Who? Choji Akamichi. Choji? No. He's a up-and-coming ninja. What about Shikamaru's father? He's always lazy and he doesn't want to do anything. I see him as fit. Maybe you're right. Maybe he is a good candidate to take Naruto or the Nine-Tails demon fox to the palace or the work factory. Now let me give you a little bit of insight on the work factory. The work factory was a manufacturing factory made for specifically making weapons of destruction. 5 years ago, the Uzumaki clan made that factory. It is a sacred place of the Uzumakis. They made that place and made it to be extra secure, but made sure that no one would fool around with it. Since they are special Fuinjutsu masters, that they would make sure that nobody would find out about anything about this place. But after a few years, they would see that people would begin to journey up to that place and conquer it. They would warn them to run away because there's a dangerous place up there. But doing so only piqued their curiosity even more after that. After doing so, Naruto and Kurama would be there for almost what feels like hundreds of millions of thousands of years. Or no, I still gotta explain what's going on. After the Uzumaki fell, people began to go up there now that nobody is interfering with their travels. They would see that this was a manufacturing factory. They would see the weapons of mass destruction, some type of robot or some type of shell. They would see armor made for gods, a god armor. Even the sage of Six Paths would be impressed of their armor and weapons crafting. As after that, Naruto, or no, and after what they saw, they tried to take one of these weapons. But it would prove useless. After proving useless, they wouldn't go there again because after that, alarms began to go off and trigger something. Thing, one thing happened and another happened. It would keep going until they were out and make sure that nothing would be there ever again, putting a chakra barrier up. After which, people would try to get inside again, but they would find it useless, as nobody has ever been able to get inside again after they got in the first time. And after that, somebody would break the seal. This would be the Sage of Six Paths. For some unreason, the Sage of Six Paths came out of his death for only a moment to unlock the seals, seeing the future, seeing the future that is supposed to happen. After that, after the Sage of Six Paths unlocked the chakra gate, they would see that that place had an energy core. That energy core was the same core that Sasori used for his own problems. He would see that it they would see that it was the same canister as the one that Naruto and Kurama are inside. As they would see this, and Tsunade says, put them inside the factory, inside the core generator. That thing is probably too old to even start running again. And since that Naruto and Kurama are inside the same canister that Sasori's heart was inside of, they would see that Sasori is inside as well. Sasori is still alive, of course, his soul trapped inside the canister for all time. Saying to Naruto that after being sealed inside of the canister, you cannot leave ever. Once you're inside, you can't escape. Well, maybe for the Nine Tails you can, but you, Naruto, you can't. Anyway, my soul is about to be devoured by this canister since you're the new holster. Since now that you're the new holder of the canister, so here, take my knowledge. As he puts a hand on his forehead, take my knowledge, as he says, putting his hand on his forehead. Suddenly a gigantic rush of pure knowledge rushed through Naruto's head, as Sasori would slowly disappear, leaving nothing but chakra behind. Nothing but chakra would be left. But yeah, after that, Naruto would begin to look through his memories again, as he would see the jutsu that Sasori used, the 100 puppet jutsu. The 100 puppet jutsu, he would see it, and he would know how it worked. And he would wonder, why? Why would Sasori give him such knowledge? But yeah, as that would happen, Naruto would... I'm starting to run out of ideas here, but anyway, let me change up the picture for you guys. But yeah, after seeing all of these moments, trance progressed through, Naruto would find himself feeling something nearing the core as the fingers of the Ambu that were, or Shikaku Nara, he would feel the fingers start to wrap themselves around Naruto's canister. After feeling this sensation, everything would go as planned. From Tsunade's perspective, everything went well, and Shikaku, he has sent a message towards Tsunade saying that the mission was a success, everything going as planned. Tsunade would curse herself, saying, how could she let that happen to Naruto, of all people? After witnessing all of this happen, she would fall back into her usual ways. But back to Naruto. His canister was being taken out of the pouch that Shikaku had. He would put the canister inside of the generator. After that, you would hear a little bit of squeaking and a little bit of grinding against metal, metal against metal, grinding against each other, rust and new metal, rust and metal, grinding against each other. He would quickly leave, finding the noise being too annoying. After that, we skip about 2 days later. Shikaku would make it back. Of course, not in the greatest of shapes, having frostbite on his fingers and cut marks on his face from traveling through the dense forest. He would make it back, but not in good health, of course. They would ask Tsunade to heal him, but she wouldn't, saying that he's a big man, he can take care of himself. If he is trying to act like a little boy, why doesn't he go get a band-aid from his mama? Saying to Shikaku to his face while being drunk. As Shikaku would find it useless to even talk to Tsunade now, after seeing the way she is and what she had said to him, he would leave Tsunade's quarters. He would leave Tsunade's quarters and go back to his house, letting the injuries heal on themselves. Back to Naruto, as he would feel something. His chakra, it would begin to spread. His chakra spreading throughout the factory. The cords of chakra and the chakra cords leading throughout the entire factory, giving it power and giving it new life. The Nine Tails power amplifying everything inside of the facility. Everything would start to turn themselves on, forcing the gears to turn, forcing the lights to shine brightest, and forcing the new weapons to have newfound power after the original builders have made these weapons of mass destruction. Their power soon found themselves snuffed out. But after the Nine Tails came in, well then, these new mass destruction weapons, they have found a new chakra, and they have adapted to the chakra of the Nine Tails, taking on it. After which, Naruto would feel his chakra being spread out through the entire factory. Anything that is connected through a cord, string, or maybe even wood, his chakra would begin to spread throughout the entire factory. Feeling nothing but absolute power run through the entire factory, everything forcing themselves on, everything being forced on, with the chakra of the Nine Tails running through everything and everything out through the entire factory. Weapons that were plugged in, weapons that are been plugged in and haven't been disconnected from the facility. Their chakra weapons have been charged, uber charged with the chakra of the Nine Tails. Thanks to that, everything would be overpowered with pure chakra, and their power would skyrocket. After that, Naruto would open his eyes, wondering, has he found a new body? As you see this, he would find himself inside of the robot made for Kurama. The Uzumakis originally planned for Kurama to go inside of this robot. They would say that its mechanical details and everything, their scientists, would make this for Kurama to possess one day. But seeing as now that nobody has touched this ancient little project, it hasn't been touched. But now that the Nine Tails power is coursing throughout the entire thing, it's uber charged, and its power forcing the gears to move, forcing itself to start moving, its joints being locked in place, now forcing themselves to move. But yeah, as it transforms into the user, it transforms into the user and what the user looks like, as it transforms into Naruto, a bigger version. But since the Nine Tails was so gigantic, Naruto's robot version is gigantic, reaching over 200 feet. As this would happen. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave it here. I want to see what you guys think of this. Of course, I'm not gonna be making my 1 hour videos, but to this time, you see the time on here, the timer, 47, 48, 49, 47 minutes or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna try and keep it to that level, so I can make better what ifs and longer series. But tell me, what do you think of this what if? Is it worthy to become a series? Or do you just want me to make another one and not focus on this stupid one or this good one that I've stumbled upon? Tell me your ideas down below. Bye bye.